Test one, test one.
Media, his phone numbers, his everything, because the Dickey House was no longer going to exist. Well, when they bought it, they decided to open the 4 rooms in the back. It's still called the plantation or whatever, the Dickey House. So I called them up and offered them to sell them back the name
Test
and the
two,
phone
test
numbers
two.
and the emails and everything. I sold all that back to them, just to its rightful name. So,
Test two, test two.
alrighty. There's your microphone, dear.
Okay, so I hold it, and I just hold it until
Yes.
when?
Yeah. Oh, you don't have to hold it
I
right
was
now.
like,
No,
I
no,
do.
no. No, we're just
There's so many. We're trying to clear out some old stuff. Yes, I'll let you look at it if we have any. We're not sure if like they're all legit pictures of like actual stuff or not. We need like someone to come in and like tell us.
You're talking about the stuff that was on the walls?
Mhm.
Yeah, they're all legitimate.
But like,
The reproduction.
well, I understand that, but I'm like just wondering where they came from and all of that and what it actually is. I think we'd like to know that. Are they on the backs? You know what I'm saying? Like, who would they have come from?
If they're like the old pictures, like what was on the wall. Do you know Donnie Rafe?
Yeah, he's on our wall of honor. So he could tell us what they are.
Yep, here we go.
Well, good Thursday afternoon to you. It is time once again for another edition of Chamber Talk on Regional Radio KJL. I'm Patty Burns. We're broadcasting live from the offices of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And oh my goodness, I'm so excited. For the first time ever, I am getting, or I have, I should say, a new co-host, Ashley Mahan, the Executive Director of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for the warm welcome.
So, Ashley, let's see. You've been on the job for, what, about a week now?
Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks.
Yes, almost.
And lots of cool things happening. Has it been an interesting couple of weeks for you?
It has. The chamber is a big difference from the banking world where I came from, but it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, I've already met with many community members, and I'm meeting with the board individually, just trying to, get my feet on the ground here. But it's exciting. So yeah.
And I'm sure that you, when you applied for the job as executive director, you had a vision in your mind already about what you wanted to see happen with the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. So, first steps.
Yeah, so collaborating with community members, I think just getting together. Even this morning, we had a ribbon cutting, and we got to talking with them about different events we could maybe host together or in conjunction with. I just think collaborating with everybody it's step one, really, and they're going to bring good ideas and fresh ideas and things that the community wants to see.
So, where was the ribbon cutting?
It was at Gracie Umesha. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's over there by the UPS store. It's a
Oh,
yeah.
Gracie Humada.
Yeah, Humada.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew I was saying that wrong. I was close. Yeah.
He Josh, I think is his name. He was in a couple of weeks ago here on the show talking about Gracie. That is awesome that you guys were able to do that ribbon cutting. And, that's just one of the many jobs of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce is to bring new members in and actually allow them to be introduced to the community.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing, with the ribbon cutting, we can also promote for those businesses. And so they're actually having their grand opening this Saturday. They're going to have numerous color belts present. They're going to do some training, have some food. I think it'll be a fun time. So there's a lot of things going on this weekend. That might be something you could pop in and check out. Yeah.
And now, when you say numerous colors of belts, I mean, are you talking for high-waisted jeans, hip huggers?
Yeah. So my understanding is the different color belts represent how skilled you are. And I can't speak to what colors mean what. You probably got to go find out for yourself. But be careful as you're doing that. But I think it sounds like it's a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. And, this weekend is an exciting weekend for all of Lebanon because, first of all, coming up on Friday is the Miss Teen Route 66 Scholarship Pageant.
I think that's a new thing that the Route 66 festival is doing.
This is the first year that they've added a scholarship pageant to the Lebanon Route 66 festival. And Stearns Auto is going to be helping to get that organized. They're going to be sponsoring that, and they're giving away a $1,000 scholarship, which is so fun. Now, Ashley, I have to ask you, we know the Route 66 Festival has been going on for a while here in Lebanon. Have you ever had an opportunity to experience the Route 66 Festival?
This is going to be my first time, so
Oh,
I'm excited.
wow.
And
You are in for a treat.
yeah, I am excited. It sounded like there were a lot of neat things and new things that they were adding to it this year, so it'll be great to see that. And the chamber will have a table set up too, giving out some flyers and candy and different things. I'm excited to see all the community members.
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's going to be like 4 different bands performing on Saturday, which is, I mean, and these are not just run-of-the-mill garage bands. These are highly, highly skilled entertainers. So you definitely will want to show up and enjoy that. The parade, they're lining up. If you've got a classic car and you want to be in the Route 66 festival parade, it's they start lining up at 9 o'clock at Wyoda Drive over at Lebanon Industrial Park, and then they'll travel over to Boswell Park for the big event there. And then the East End Block Party is going to be taking place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's over on the East End
Yeah.
of Route 66 in Lebanon, over by the historic Reeks Market building, Taylor's Dairy Joy, Tires, Brakes, and more. They're all going to have some really cool things going on over there. Munger Moss has got a stage set up over there. They're going to be having some activities over there as well. So, and that's going on until from 4 until dark on Saturday, June 3rd, here in Lebanon. What else?
Well, there's a lot going on, like I said, because also the Boswell Aquatic Center has their opening on Saturday. So that's from 1 to 5. So it's summertime. The pool is open.
And the admission this year for adults is, adults and anyone under or over the age of 2. And I'm not saying like me, act like you're under 2. But anyway, admission $4. Children 2 and under are free. And they do have season passes where you can actually make out like a bandit because, it's a pretty good deal when you get that season pass for, and if your kids like to swim a lot or you like to, take the kids swimming a couple of times a week, great deal there. Let's see, what else? Oh, you're taking nominations for the Wall of Honor.
We are. So we will be taking nominations until June 23rd. And what we're looking for is a local community member who has not just gone above and beyond, but they've been recognized maybe at a state or national level for things that they've done. And it doesn't have to be a specific industry or business necessarily. Could be an athlete. It could be, someone who was in politics or a business owner or anything like that. But they've just done a lot for the community, and we would like to recognize those people. So any nominations, we're taking those online. You can come by the chamber office, fill out a form. There's different ways we can take those. But yeah, till June 23rd.
All right, so don't wait around too long. Fill out that nomination form. There's a link on the Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, or you can email chamber@lebanonmissouri.com, and they can send you back a nomination form, or just stop in at the Chamber at 186 North Adams in Lebanon.
Yep.
So we have got a couple of beautiful ladies here as guests for Chamber Talk today. Now, Emily Huckabee, you've heard her voice many, many times
Patty.
here because she is the executive secretary for the board of directors for the Lebanon Area Chamber of
Yes.
Commerce. But Emily's here to talk to us about Flat Branch Home Loans.
Yes, which
That's
is
your
my
real job.
That's my real job.
That's your real job. So, first of all, Emily, I want to hear about this Community Champions program that you guys have.
Well, obviously, before we talk about community champions, you have to talk about how awesome Flat Branch is in
Well,
general.
yeah.
I mean, it's just another way that we are dedicated to our customers. I talk about it all the time, but if you've not been able to have the opportunity, when you buy a home with Flat Branch and get your loan here, if you are a active military personnel, if you are a teacher, if you are a firefighter, EMT, cop here in Lebanon, or even in the state of Missouri where I can lend, you will receive a lender credit up to $900 off of closing costs, which we know can make a huge impact.
Well, yeah, that's a brand new TV.
Well, yes.
And,
That's a really big TV, though,
and a
Patty.
recliner, and a recliner. I'm going to throw that in too. Yeah.
And a soda pop.
Yeah, and yeah, maybe a soda pop and some
Bag of
popcorn,
Cheetos, it's fine.
Bag of Cheetos. To get lost in the brand new recliner.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, Emily, what is Flat Branch Home Loans?
Okay.
I mean, is it a traditional bank?
So it's actually not a bank. We are just a lending institution specifically geared towards residential lending, which is homes that you live in, not commercial buildings or anything like that. It was started out in Columbia, Missouri by a young man named Jim Yankee when he was 25 years old. He had a vision for a company and he just kind of ran with it. We're a small company, which I personally love. We only have about 600 to 700 employees or so. And we're small, but we're mighty. We were actually the number one purchase lender in the state of Missouri last year. Number one, and as far as no down payment assistance with the USDA program. So we, like I said, small but mighty, and we know what we're doing. So I'm glad that I can serve with them.
Now, when you say no purchase assistance with the USDA,
Yeah, so
what does that mean?
USDA is actually a really great program for first-time home buyers. When someone comes to me and they say, I'm a first-time home buyer, I don't know what I'm doing, the first thing I say is, do you have a down payment? And if they don't, then we usually pair them with the USDA program. It's specific as to it's address specific, I should say. And you have to live in a rural area, which Laclede County is rural. And as long as the home is in pretty good condition, move-in ready, we can get them a USDA loan, which is no money down. So we have a lot of borrowers who are able to buy homes and not have to come to the closing table with anything. They just need their driver's license and to be able to put their signature down. So,
Emily, have you ever had someone come to you and say, man, I'd really like to buy a house, but I can't find one?
yes, that's
And
actually.
how do you handle that? I mean, if there's not a house already built and someone wants to own a home, how can you help them with that?
Well, so I'll say this. What's cool about Flat Branch is we have more options, I feel like. So sometimes when people come to me that are already pre-qualified, they'll say, well, I was told I can only buy this much and this price range and this type of home. And I think it's always important to give people their just more options in general. So I say to them, okay, well, if you don't want to put a down payment down, right, could you come up with X amount of dollars and then I can actually get you 120 instead of just 100,000, or I can get you 150 instead of 120. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just tell people, hey, you have other options. And so it is hard to find homes right now. That's the world we live in. We've lived it for several years. I would like to think it's getting a little bit better. And, we take it day by day. I will say a lot of first-time homebuyers weren't able to go under contract that didn't have that down payment last year. But I'm seeing more and more of those all the time, especially here, even in the summer when it's hot, and the market's hot right now. So, yeah, I think
weather's hot too.
Yeah, it's a little warm, Patty.
And now we know that there's more construction happening here in Lebanon and Laclede County. A lot of that is for rentals and leases. Is that going to free up the market, do you think, for persons who need to come to you and say, hey, is Emily going to get really busy, is what I'm asking?
I mean, here's the thing, right? People are always graduating from school. They're graduating from college. They are getting married. They're getting divorced. They're getting, job changes. So housing is always just a need in general. And even if rates are higher, even if our prices are high. So, potentially, I mean, yeah, but here's the deal. A lot of those people that rent, eventually, guess what they're going to need? They're going to want to buy a home,
right?
That are able to bring in housing here. So I think we're in a good position for the future, for us to be able to move forward to get those needs filled. So,
okay.
Huh.
Where is Flat Branch Home Loans located? How do we get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm over at 1420 West Elm, right across the street from Harvest Church. Honestly, call my cell phone day or night, 7 days a week. You know, it's funny. People will be like, well, what'd you do today? Well, I waited for people to get off of work is what I say a lot of time. I tell my husband, I feel like I work between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. and like 2 o'clock in the afternoon till about 7 p.m. You know,
So you have a whole siesta time there.
yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of funny sometimes. So, but yeah, my cell phone is always on. I always try to answer. If I don't, I usually text you back. It's 417-664-1681. I'd love to be able to help anybody that needs a home.
All right, that's Emily Huckabee
Thanks,
with
Patty.
Flat Branch Home Loans. If you are, looking for a lender for your new home purchase, contact Emily Huckabee and she can help you out. Also here with us today, Cheryl Colson is with Edward Jones. So,
Hello, Patty.
how are you today?
I am wonderful. The sun is shining. I'm a summer girl.
I am too. It's like, give me summer. Give me summer. Take away the cold weather. We are good to
Amen.
go. It can rain even, and I don't care as long as it's summer. Yeah. So, Edward Jones, what's it about?
Well, Edward Jones has been around. We're in our 101th year so far.
Wow,
So-
you're old.
I
But
know,
you
and
look
I'm
good,
holding up very
lady.
good for 101.
You look good.
Yeah, so, we've been around since 1920, or 1922, I guess is when we've been around. On that there, we're one of the largest firms. We have over 15,000 locations in North America and Canada as well. Now, I've been in the Lebanon area just for about 7 years, and I've taken over a branch here a couple years ago, but I've been with Edward Jones since 2008. I started my career in the St. Louis area.
So, what is Edward Jones?
Edward Jones is a financial firm where we help people meet their financial goals. So
Okay,
a lot
now,
of
wait. So does Emily.
Emily helps meet goals in one way and I help meet goals in another. But if one of your goals is to buy a home, I help you figure out how to save money and make money for that down payment that helps her be able to put people in homes.
There you
so it could be,
go.
one of your goals may be, what do you want to do when you retire? One of your goals might be, how am I going to send my kids to college? One of your goals may be, I want to go on vacations when I retire at 65, but maybe I don't think I can retire till 78. Well, we sit down and we think about all of these aspects and we make a plan, because we all know that if you're not going to write down the plan, you're never going to get there. So I help you make your plan a reality. So it's not just about stocks and mutual funds and bonds and everything. Yes, that is a big part of what I do, but I like to sit and listen to what is important to you, and then I help you meet your goals that way. So
Well, what's important to me is sleeping until 10 and going to bed at 5.
so do you have the perfect job where you work at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, no. I wish. No. I'm absolutely joking, boss. I'm not going anywhere just yet. But, the thing is if you want to be able to do those things, like I said, sleep till 10 and, go to bed at 5 and, only work 2 hours a day, the only way you can do that is by planning ahead.
Absolutely, you want to plan, and you're never too young to really start this process. I have clients that range anywhere from 18 years old all the way up to in their 90s. Actually, I've had some that are over 100 years old too, and I've been able to hold their hand throughout the years to get to where they want to go. Another thing we do is we really help with wealth transition. So when you start thinking about you've accumulated this mass of investments and money, basically you've accumulated, and you don't want the government to get it. So I like to talk to people about how we plan to where we can transfer this to the people that you want it to be, or an entity, whichever way, and save on taxes. I like to work with your attorneys. I also like to work with your tax advisors, your CPAs. But to set it all down, it just starts with a conversation. If you ever see any of my little ads I run out there, they always end with "let's talk." Let's talk, let's find out what's important to you. My office is here in the Lebanon area. I'm over off of Alexis Avenue. Jones is a great company, and some advice for when you're looking for a financial advisor, you want to interview people and you want to talk to them and find out, do you connect? Because that is so important. You don't want to be overwhelmed with somebody. You want somebody that's going to talk in your language. So,
Yeah, and that's important is, if you walk into an office and you're going to put someone in charge of your money, your substance.
that is a big level of trust.
subsistence, Whatever. For the next 30 years.
Exactly.
If you don't like them,
It's hard to work with somebody you don't want to talk to.
Right.
So it's important that you choose somebody that you are comfortable with. And I also tell people that I really would like to meet their beneficiaries before I have to meet their beneficiaries, because then I've already established a relationship with them. And when the sad times come that they have to go through and work on your estate, I'm there to hold their hand to help them through that. And one of the things I sit down is you don't have to have all your money at one firm. I mean, you can have it everywhere. Some people like to do, different eggs in different baskets. I like to kind of know when I'm making the planning process where your baskets are, because then I can help your family go through everything. And let's say you had a bank out there that you had money and you didn't tell anybody. Well, then eventually the state's going to get that money because nobody knew it was there. So I really like to work very closely with my families when I'm doing financial planning, especially for wealth transfer. So if we're trying to talk in that department too, it's can get very, very emotional when somebody does pass away and we get overwhelmed and we don't know what to do first. And I have a wonderful little brochure that kind of goes through what steps and how to do that. And I like to offer that free. You're welcome to come by my office and pick one of these up. I'm happy to sit down and talk, or you can just say, hey, I want one of those steps to take when a loved one passes away. My assistant, Michaela, will gladly hand that over to you, and we're glad to work with you. And if you work with somebody else, you just want the information, that's fine too. We'll be happy to meet you.
Do you have something for individuals who want to plan a brochure like this for persons before they pass away?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, it starts with a conversation and find out what's important to you. Because I normally start and say, where do you want your assets to go when you pass away? And yeah, the majority of people say, well, I want it to go to my kids, but not everybody does. And so we make these plans to where they're going to go. Whether you need a trust, whether you think you have, what if you have a will, but you think that's all you need? And a lot of people think that a will cover all their needs. It's still going to go to probate, and a lot of people don't realize that. So I like to have these conversations up front so that they know what their loved ones are going to have to go through for that transfer of wealth. So, and again, this will involve talking to an attorney as well, but we work together in a trifecta there and to get your goals made.
So even if a person has a will, it still has to go to probate court?
Yeah, the will is a document that the judge will use to determine where the money goes.
Okay, I was not aware of that. Another reason why you need to be talking
I mean,
to
your
the folks
assets
that-
will eventually
yeah.
get there, but you have the time and the cost of going through the courts. And then, of course, when it's in the courts, it also becomes a matter of public record.
Yeah,
And a trust will alleviate all of that.
okay. Is it hard to set up a trust?
Not really, but keep in mind, I'm not an attorney, okay?
Right,
And I cannot
right.
give legal advice. But no, there's several great attorneys in this town, but no, it's not hard. You just kind of need to know what do you want to do? And I do sit down with people and go over these plans with them, and I'm happy even to go to their attorney with them to help them get everything lined up.
All right, great. Sounds like Edward Jones might be a kind of a full service.
We do, and in service, you hit the right thing. It's service. It's not just, I don't just sell mutual funds and stocks and bonds. We have a total level of service of what you need to get where you want to go. I don't have I don't charge to sit down and talk. So if you want to come in and talk about your account 12 times a year, then we sit down and talk to your account 12 times a year. That's fine. So the total levels of service, and I'm always watching everything. And if I think there's something going on, I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to call you and say, hey, what do you think about this? Again, it's a relationship that we build while we're building your wealth.
One more thing, Cheryl, and I think this is maybe a mistake that some people make, especially young people. I only have $1,000.
Yeah, that is a mistake. That is actually a mistake. We can start an account for as simple as $250. Okay, so the biggest thing is if you want to build consistency, and if you just do it $100 a month or $50 a month, you will eventually start building that up. And once you start doing it, you get the habit of doing it. And then you can increase it by 10%, and you can increase it by 10%. And you'd be surprised how much that extra $50 a month will be at the end of 20 years. So no, you're never too young. And I talk to a lot of people. I love to educate people, whether they're 18 or whether they're 80. If they don't understand the whole thing, I want them to know what they own, why they own it, and why did we buy it to begin with. So it's very important.
All right. So, don't make the mistake of saying, I don't have much money, so it's not going to do me any good, because you got to start somewhere.
You can always start somewhere. That's right.
And if you are a young person, it's especially important, because you don't want to find yourself like some people, where you're 50 years old and you have nothing
You're like, oh my gosh,
invested.
what do I do now? I
Yeah.
want to retire in 10 years and I don't have anything to retire with. So yeah, it is definitely good to start young.
All right. Well, Cheryl, thank you so much. Cheryl
Thank you, Patty.
Colson is with Edward Jones, and they're located right here in Lebanon. You have a website, don't you?
Yeah, it's Cheryl Coles. It's edwardjones.com / Cheryl Colson. But you can just call me simply. It's 991-3604, and you can talk to me and my partner, Michaela, in the office.
All right. Thank you very much. Before we go, Business Builders Luncheon is coming up on June 9th. Ashley, what do you got planned for us?
Yeah, so we will be eating lunch at Da Vinci's. They've got a nice little room there that we've got booked. We don't have a speaker yet, but we are working on getting that on the books for it. But it'll be someone good. So
All right. And that is coming up again on June 9th, 12. And come have lunch with the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce, hear about some new and interesting things during the Business Builders Luncheon. And, if you're in a huge hurry, you can always call ahead to get your lunch order in. Remember, it is on your own dime. And don't forget also, June 9th, movie in the park, Jumanji is going to be showing at Boswell Park. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thanks to Cheryl Colson at Edward Jones, Emily Huckabee at Flat Branch Home Loans, and of course, the ever wonderful and precious Ashley Mahan, the new
thank you.
executive director of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm Patty Burns. Chamber Talk is brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce and Local Make Sense and Regional Radio KGL. Have a great day.